Okay, so before our Dharma talk this evening, and I would like you to bring your hands to your heart. And you can repeat after me. Namo,
Namo,
fundamental teacher,
fundamental teacher,
Shakyamuni Buddha.
Shakyamuni Buddha.
Namo,
Namo,
fundamental teacher,
fundamental teacher,
Shakyamuni Buddha.
Shakyamuni Buddha.
Namo,
Namo,
fundamental teacher,
fundamental teacher,
Shakyamuni Buddha.
Shakyamuni Buddha.
The unsurpassed, profound,
Profound,
subtle,
subtle,
and wondrous Dharma.
wondrous Dharma.
It's difficult to encounter
It is difficult to encounter
in hundreds
in hundreds
of thousands
of thousands
of millions
of millions
of kalpas.
of kalpas.
I now see and hear it,
I now see and hear it,
receive and uphold it.
receive and upload it.
May we understand
May we understand
the true meaning
the true meaning
of the Tathagata.
of the Tathagata.
Namo Amituofo.
Namo Amituofo.
Okay, welcome everyone to our weekly Dharma talk. So the word Dharma means Buddha's teachings. Or on a poster we said wisdom talk, because a lot of people may not be familiar with the word Dharma. And basically the Buddha's teaching is all about the wisdom, the truth of life and the universe. And through learning the Buddha's teachings, we can increase our wisdom. Through cultivating wisdom, it can help us to solve many problems in our everyday life. So it's not just theory, it's also very practical. And last week we talked about the 6 paramitas. So each week we are introducing like a topic, the basic teachings in Buddhism. So anybody remember what are the 6 paramitas? Or what does the word paramita mean? So paramita is the word from Sanskrit. It means to arrive on the other shore. So it's from the sea of suffering to arrive to the shore of liberation. So by learning Buddhist teachings, it can help us. Now we are swimming in the sea of suffering. We are drowning by our afflictions, our worries, all kinds of issues. And by learning and practicing the 6 paramitas, the 6 practices, it can help us to arrive on the other shore, the shore of liberation. So anybody who remember what are the 6 practices we briefly mentioned last time? Giving, very good. That's one of them. Second. So last time we learned about the first one. The first practice is giving or generosity, to cultivate generosity, to practice giving. And second is precepts. Third is forbearance. Fourth is diligence. Fifth is meditative concentration. And sixth is wisdom. When we say wisdom, we mean this transcendent wisdom. So through practicing the 6 practices, you will arrive at the shore of liberation. You can transcend all sufferings in life. If you can perfect all the 6 practices. So we might briefly review about what we had learned last week about giving. Anybody remember what are the 3 types of giving the Buddha talked about? First is to give wealth. So one is to practice giving of wealth, material possessions. Why do you think the Buddha wants us to practice that? Why the Buddha wants us to give us money away? Give our money away.
To practice generosity.
Yeah, but why? Why do you think it's good for us? Why the Buddha thinks it's good for us?
Practice non-attachment.
Very good. It's like not to be too attached to our material possessions. To, first of all, by practicing giving, it helps us to overcome our greed. Right? Greed can be a problem in our life. And also, second, there's a type of suffering called not to get what you want, because you have attachment, and often sometimes you don't get what you want, and that you will suffer. So by practicing giving our own possessions away. Maybe not all of them, you need some to sustain your living, but if you can learn to practice more giving and generosity, it can help you to also let go of your attachment. Why you think we should not be too attached? What's the problem with attachment? Why it's not good to be attached? Anybody remember the Four Noble Truths? What's the root cause of suffering? It's our attachment, our craving. Because all things in life are impermanent. If it's impermanent and you're attached to it, be it things, people, whatever, you're going to suffer. You're doomed to suffer. Why? Because at one particular time in life, you will lose what you have because of impermanent. Or you may not gain what you want, because a lot of things are not dependent on you. So that's why it's good to practice non-attachment. So whether you gain or you lose, you are a little bit, you can be more indifferent and you can be more at peace within yourself. Make sense? It is through understanding the true nature of life that all things are essentially impermanent, everything is constantly changing. What we call emptiness of inherent existence, which means things are constantly changing without a permanent fixed nature, and that's why we shouldn't be too attached. And a good way to let go of our attachment is to practice giving. And also because if we believe in the law of karma, the law of cause and effect, the Buddha said by practicing giving, if you give out your wealth, you will gain more wealth. That's how the law of karma works. What you give, you gain. You may be like, oh, but I give someone some money, but I'm not gaining more yet. So the law of karma works in a funny way. You may not get it straight away, but in the future, it could come back to you. It may be more times than what you had gave out in the past. So in different forms, you know what I mean? So it may not come back in like the way you expected. It could come back in different ways. But if you believe in the law of karma, you reap what you sow, you give, and you will gain. This is the law of karma. It's very logical. And it's also good to practice giving. It will increase your blessings. Because last time we also said, who likes selfish people? No, we like to be with people who are generous, who has a heart of giving. So you will be popular. If you like to give out a lot, you're going to have lots of friends. And of course, you will gain even more than you give. And what's the second type of giving?
Sharing Dharma and wisdom.
Yes, so by sharing the Dharma to others, the Buddhist teachings with others, this wisdom, it will also increase your own wisdom. If you want to be more wise in your life, what do we mean when we say, oh, someone has wisdom? What's the sort of standard? Any measurements? Maybe this person is more at ease, more at peace, with less afflictions, less worries. He or she may not live a very good life from the maybe societal perspective, but he or she is more free. So that's what we can call if someone with wisdom is that they're less afflicted, less troubled in their mind, in their heart. No matter what kind of external situations they might encounter, but if they have wisdom, they don't have to be afflicted. And now we feel very much afflicted internally, or we feel a lot of worry because we lack of wisdom. And why we lack of wisdom? Maybe we haven't studied the Dharma enough, or we haven't practiced enough, we haven't practiced meditation enough. So you need the practice, you need to study. By studying the Buddhist teachings, you understand how we can actually gain wisdom, and through actually putting into the effort to practice, that's how you can embody it. Just by listening to my talk, it's more like a theory. You gain the theory yourself, but you still need to practice it. So Buddhism is not about theory. And I keep emphasizing Buddhism is not really a religion because although it's been defined as a religion in the world, but it's really like a practice. It's a way of life to help you transcend all sufferings in life. If you want to gain wisdom, if you don't want to suffer too much, I practice according to the Buddhist teachings, according to the right teaching. So the more wisdom you share with others, like our meditation we practice tonight, you can share with other people and tell them. If you have a friend who is like so traumatized or who has a lot of afflictions, tell them to Nampo or to come to our sessions. Okay, so you can also share this with others. And what's the third type of giving?
Fearless giving.
What does that mean? Fearless giving.
Like to make others feel fearless.
Yeah, so to not make others to be afraid, to have fears, to help others. So what are the examples of fearless giving? We talked a few last time. So how can you not make others afraid of you? Or, for instance, you save lives. Instead of, for instance, you find a spider in your room. Instead of killing it with your shoes, you decided to use a tissue and then put the spider away in the garden. So to help save lives, and if you have someone who is sick, you go and maybe take care of them, you give them medicine, and to not kill life, to help protect life, to save life. That's what's called fearless giving. And through practicing fearless givings, we can also have the benefit of longevity and good health. It's like the law of karma. If you save lives of others, then you will also increase your own lifespan and good health. Yeah. If we see someone who is not like so sick. No, if we see someone in our life who is like quite healthy all the time, like even when others are coughing like all the time, and then this person is not affected, or even during COVID, this person is free of that, it's most likely this person practiced a lot of what's called fearless giving. And he got this good karma to also have good health. Okay, and today we're moving on to the second practice. So this is like a progressive practice. First is giving, because the root cause of suffering is attachment. By practicing giving, it helps us to let go of our attachment, also to overcome our greed, and to increase our blessings. So this is the fundamental practice in Buddhism. It's called the Bodhisattva practice. Bodhisattva is an awakened being who works for the benefit of all others. So if you want to be like more awakened in your life, first practice giving. And second is precepts. What does precepts mean? Or principles, or morality, or discipline. Anyone heard of this? You know anything about the Buddhist precepts? It's not like you have to be a Buddhist to practice the precepts, but the precepts is a good set of moral principles. If we follow them in our life, we can generate good karma. And what does karma mean? I kept saying the word karma. Any idea? So karma means intentions acting through body, speech, and mind. We are actually a product of our own karma. Our life is a product of our own karma. So don't complain your life is not good or you're suffering. Fix your karma first. Because it's your karma that creates your life. When I say karma, I mean thoughts, intentions, acting through your body, speech, and mind. Correct? Every actions you do in your life, who's behind it? Who's telling you? Anybody? Any actions you do. Why you choose to come here? Who tells you?
It's your mind.
Exactly. Yeah, so your mind is the boss. Your intention is the boss. And then it acts through your body, speech, and mind. It acts, and then you perform a series of actions. But the boss behind all of your actions is your mind. Okay? So you are a product of your own karma. If you suffer, it's because of you. If you're happy, it's because of you. You can determine how you feel in this moment. Suffering or happiness, you choose. Does that make sense? If you like to choose suffering, then you go ahead, okay? But we like to choose infinite light, then we Amituofo. So, can you see the magic of this meditation? If you remember to recite this magic word, Amituofo, then in this moment you can transform your own feelings. You can transform your emotions. You can transform your thoughts. By transforming your thoughts, you transform how you're feeling in this moment, then you can transform your attitude towards any sort of situations. Then you can be a happy person in your life, no matter what situations you might encounter. But of course, this takes practice. You need to build out a habit to remember, oh, I should do Amituofo. I should not be thinking too much about all these troubles. If you don't have the practice, you don't have this mindfulness, then you will just fall into the trap of your own delusional mind. And you cannot help it. And you cannot jump out because your habit tendency is too strong. It's just like you just fall in this vortex, this vicious cycle of negative thinking, and you can't jump out because your mindfulness is not strong enough. So that's why it's important to cultivate mindfulness, meditation. How often we should do it? What do you think?
Every day.
Every day. How much time every day?
I would say 15, 20 minutes.
Then what happens with the rest of the time? Do you go through life unaware, unmindful? So meditation is moment-to-moment practice. It's not only 15, 20 minutes. If you're only doing, let's say, 1 hour a day, what happens with the rest 23 hours? Right? Do you go through life unconscious? No. Moment to moment. If you can be aware moment to moment as much as possible. But you need to find a practice that you can actually apply moment to moment. And that's why I recommend this practice, because you can apply it moment to moment if you can remember, or as many moments as possible in your life. Then you will build up a very good level of mindfulness. Okay, back to the topic of precepts or moral principles. In Buddhism, for lay practitioners, if you are a beginner into the Buddhist teachings, I don't mean that you have to observe them. You don't really necessarily have to observe them if you are only a beginner on your practice, but this is highly recommended. And to me, I think maybe not only Buddhists, just any human being, if you want to live a good life, these are the things you maybe should consider following. For lay Buddhists, usually the 5 precepts. Anybody remember what are the 5 precepts? First, no killing. Why we shouldn't kill?
No drink alcohol.
Yeah, that's the last one. So I'm asking why we shouldn't kill. Why you shouldn't go out on the street and kill people. This is very straightforward, right? Because we treasure our life the most. First of all, it's illegal. But when we say no killing, not only limit to human beings, but also maybe animals, also like you can expand it more. And then some people may ask, oh, does that mean I have to be a vegetarian? No, you don't have to. If you are only a beginner on the path, you don't. There's no restrictions in practicing Buddhism. Anyone can practice the Buddhist teachings. But if you like to eat meat, it's best that you eat those meat that have already been slaughtered, but not specifically for you. Okay? Like, for instance, that meat you get from the supermarket. They have already been killed, but not specifically for you, for the general masses, for the public. This is better than if you kill the animal yourself and you consume it. Yeah, the karma is different. So, because all beings treasure their lives the most, and that's why we should also refrain from killing. And if you don't harm others, then you will gain good karma of others not harm you. If you really like to harm others, to kill others, then in the future, you may also face the karma of being harmed by others. So the law of karma is very fair. And what you do will eventually come back to you. So that's why we should be very aware of our thinking, our speech, our mind, our body, speech, and actions. Okay, and second is, what's the second one? Anyone?
Don't be a thief.
Yeah, no stealing. Very good.
Oh,
So why we shouldn't steal? It sounds pretty common sense. Because we don't want others to steal our things, so that's why we shouldn't steal from others. But what is considered as stealing? For instance, if you take someone's things without asking, without others' permission, does that count as stealing? Yes. Yeah, so that's also a form of stealing. So no stealing. And third is no sexual misconduct. What does no sexual misconduct mean? So, yes?
I don't know how to say that in English.
Okay, so to not engage in sexual relationship outside of your marriage or your relationship, yeah. Why? So it's like no cheating, any of things like that. Why it's not good? Why cheating is not good? Oh, you think cheating is good? Yeah, because you maybe want your partner or the other half to be also loyal to you. So that's why you should also be loyal to him or her. Like if you're not loyal to him or her, then most likely he or she will also not be loyal to you. Yeah, so if you want to have a good relationship, then also no sexual misconduct. Yeah. Fourth is no lying. So lying goes without saying. If we lie to others, we may harm others' feelings. But there is one circumstances that there could be like exception. It's all not like all fixed. What do you think? What are the circumstances? For instance, if you want to save lives, if you're in the forest and a hunter asks you where did that rabbit go, and you knew it, but like you want to protect the life of the rabbit, and then you lied in that way, then that's fine. It's like for the benefit of saving other sentient beings. Then there is an exception. And the fifth is no alcohol and intoxicants. Intoxicants means anything that could cloud the mind. And why the Buddha said no alcohol and intoxicants? Alcohol can be a difficult thing for maybe particularly in the Western society. Or the reason why the Buddha said this is because it prevents the first fall from happening. A lot of accidents, like car accidents, a lot of maybe domestic violence, many issues in our life are caused by under the influence of alcohol and drugs and all this. So that's why it's also not good to consume alcohol and intoxicants. But some people say, I can drink a little bit. It's okay if you think you can control it. But what happens is a lot of people, they think they can control, but they can't really control. And that would be a problem. So again, the 5 precepts, you don't have to observe them if you're on a beginner path. You're just beginning to learn about Buddhist teachings. But if you want to be more serious or more committed into your practice, you want to be have more discipline with your body, speech, and mind, with your conduct, and to generate good karma in your life, then you may consider to observe the 5 precepts. But I think for the 5 precepts are pretty, we would say, common sense. Maybe apart from the final one that could be a bit difficult in a Western society because of lots of social events and everyone grabs a drink and you have to kind of thing, but just everything in moderation. Okay, so these are the precepts for lay practitioners. Again, not compulsory at the beginning, but for those who want to progress further on the path, and there are the precepts. And for even higher level of practitioners, they have what's called the bodhisattva precepts. So bodhisattva is like if an awakened sentient being who want to help others. Right? Not only that they want to realize Buddhahood themselves, not only they want to be perfect awakening, perfect enlightenment, but also they want to help other beings. So they also observe a type of precepts called bodhisattva precepts. So the robe I'm wearing is for bodhisattva precepts. So what are the bodhisattva precepts about? So for the beginner precepts, like the 5 precepts, it's about it prohibits you from doing something. You cannot do this, cannot do that, cannot do this. If you do it, it's considered as breaking a precept. For the higher level, it's like if you don't do something, it's considered as breaking the precepts. Like for me to take up the bodhisattva vow, it also means that I have this promise or vow to share the Dharma, the teaching, the Buddha's teaching with as many beings as possible. If I don't do it, it's like I'm breaking my precept. So it's like you take up a greater responsibility. So if you have the chance to help others and you don't help others, then you are breaking the precepts. So that's what's called a bodhisattva precepts. Right? So there are all different types of precepts in Buddhism, and even for monks, monastic precepts, they have even more precepts to follow. It's like more discipline. And in today's society, maybe people don't like to talk so much about morality or principles and disciplines, because people think, I just want to do what I want. I just want to be like free, YOLO, and all this. But the thing is, what's true freedom? It's actually freedom of your mind. It's not like, oh, I just want to do what I want, and that's freedom. No. Maybe you can do what you want with your actions, but if your mind is all filled with afflictions and rubbish and all this, then you're not really happy, and you don't have true freedom. In Buddhism, the Buddhist practice, it's all about setting you free, completely free, free from all kinds of worries, troubles, and afflictions. And how can we attain true liberation, true freedom? What do you think is very important in relation to what we just talked about? You need discipline, correct? You need to have discipline. True freedom comes from discipline. Heard about that? Even if you want to do well in your life, you need to have a certain level of discipline. So discipline is also important. I know people don't like to hear it, but it is true. It is important, and we do have to talk about it. So this is the second practice. It's like moral principles, discipline, precepts. Okay, first you practice giving, and second you should have a bit of discipline with your body, speech, and mind. So by observing the precepts, it can help us prevent us from committing wrong deeds, wrongdoings. So refrain us from doing wrong and to protect us. So sometimes people think, oh, I don't like precepts because it restrains my freedom. No. Precepts are not here to restrain you. It may look like so on the surface, but what they're really here to do is to protect you. It's like when you cross the red light, you need to stop when the light is red, so to protect you. So the precepts is like the red light. Right? If you do this, you're gonna commit bad karma, so do not do it. Right? To refrain from doing it, to stop when the light is red. So it's like that. So precepts are very adorable, very lovely. They're not here to restrain you, but it helps you build out a foundation to have a bit of discipline with your body, speech, and mind, and it can set you free later with your meditation. It can better help prepare you into meditation. If you want to attain meditative concentration, you first need to purify a bit more of your body, speech, and mind. Imagine if you're doing something very wrong, like you stole something or you, I don't know, killed someone, then you cannot sit here in meditation. Your mind will be like all over the place. You cannot really settle. So that's why it's important to have this discipline.